So yeah, this video is going to be three things. One, an update to my first day impressions of Wuthering Waves, because at this point I've hit Union level 40, as well as the max databank level with the new patch 1.1, which is 21. So I feel qualified to, give my updated takes on whatever that is. Second, I'm quitting Wuthering Waves. You probably saw it in the title, in the thumbnail, whatever I make those. I'm quitting. I'm going to outline why, don't worry. And third, for those of you who care, what's next for me? If you don't, then obviously it's at the end. You can just click off of the video. So, first of all, an update on my opinions. What do I think about Wuthering Waves? Well, let's start with the positives. Wuthering Waves' combat is still amazing. It's a great combat system, very in-depth. It incentivizes more skill than the other combat systems that I've played with. There are some issues that hamper my experience with the combat system, but those aren't really tied to the combat system itself, and I will outline them later on. Honestly, that's about where it ends in terms of like the very positive things that I have to say about WoWa. So before I continue, you should know a little bit about the way that I play gacha games and the reason that I play gacha games, which is for two main reasons. One, my friends play that gacha game, and two, for the story, because, I like story. I know a lot of players don't. WoWa added a skip button. I do like the story, and unfortunately, as I stated in my first impressions video, WoWa's story is kind of mid, in my opinion. It definitely picked up, it definitely got better, but in terms of a story writing aspect, to me, it does seem like there's not really a reason for a lot of the things happening. You kind of have to suspend your disbelief a lot more, and I'll touch on this later when I talk about why I'm quitting, but the issue with Wuthering Waves since its release has always been quality assurance, and that, again, hampers my ability to suspend my disbelief and be immersed in the story of WoWa. So it's hard to say whether it's exactly the story writing or the fact that the quality assurance is off, probably a bit of both. So again, the combat is great for players who like combat. This is a great game, you should give it a try. If you're like me, you like the story, you like getting on, kind of doing your dailies in like 5 minutes tops, and then you kind of get off until the next patch comes, you do the main story, that's all you really like doing, I would say you can give it a try, right? Totally give it a try. If you like the story, that's fantastic. Personally, I didn't, so hedge your expectations. So again, let's move on. So why am I quitting WoWa? Again, the major issue is just quality assurance. I play in English, and a lot of mistranslations happen, a lot of grammar issues, a lot of, just overall not ideal things happen with the English version of the game. Obviously, this is honestly a minor issue as far as like my enjoyment of the game goes, but it definitely contributes to the fact that I find the story not as immersive, not as logical, not as interesting, all of that. And the other thing, again, tied into the same issue, is that Wuthering Waves still lags for me. They did push out a lot of patches to kind of address the lag, and while it did do something to an extent, I would say that for me, it did not nearly do enough. Every time I launch the game, it takes about like 5 minutes if I were to give an estimate, and like due to just launching the game from the launcher and also, loading, and whenever I get in, that's when the lag is the worst, because I guess it's like loading the entire world or whatever, I don't know. And this also like hampers my experience with the combat. A lot of the times in the combat, my camera will just glitch out into the middle of nowhere. In my last stream, which was today, July 3rd, a Wednesday, my game crashed when I tried to load the new weekly boss. So things like that just make it so that I don't really want to open the game. It takes a long time, and I essentially started only opening the game when I streamed it at this point, right? So yeah, I think that's all. Yeah. So I've decided to quit the game. I'll still be around. I'll still, get on probably every patch to see, what the changes are. Maybe I'll play the story. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But as far as being a WoWa content creator, that ended today with my last WoWa stream. Yeah. I do hope there's a day when the game is in a better state and I can come back, I can try again. I'll still keep up with the game, so if you have some basic questions about like, oh, how good is the new character or whatever, you know, drop by my stream. I could probably answer that for you. But in terms of like in-depth knowledge, I will probably not be playing the game very much. So, for those of you who just wanted to see another random shit on Wuwa, there you go. I do think it's a great game, so maybe your goals weren't achieved, but if you do care about what's next for me, I'll still be streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday over on Twitch. Check out my Twitch channel. As for what I'll be streaming, I'm going to turn to the new HOYO-verse game releasing tomorrow, Zenless Zone Zero. I will be trying that out as my main game for as long as I like it, but also streaming the other two HOYO-verse games, being Genshin and Starro. Sorry, High 3 enjoyers, I don't play that game, don't plan to just yet, so yeah, those will be my main 3 games for the foreseeable future. Sorry for those of you who were waiting for my guide, which is probably like 2 people, but yeah, that guide is not coming out, unfortunately. I do have another piece of content. This time it's Genshin Impact related. I'm not going to spoil too much. It's very different from the guides that I normally put out. Guides will be put out for Zenless Zone Zero, as long as I like the game, as long as I understand the game. I might stream tomorrow. It is the 4th of July, so no plans are set in stone, but, you know, follow my Twitch channel. We'll see. It is the release of the game, so I'll try my best. First impressions for Zenless Zone Zero should also come out probably the 4th, maybe the 5th. Hopefully, I'll get it out soon. We'll see. And yeah, that should be it. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll stick around for whatever I decide to stream next, whatever I decide to make content about. And, yeah. Take care. All the best.